Jingle, 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 jingle.
Oh, we don't need a holiday.
Jingle. Happy holidays, like that.
Sure.
Hello and welcome to Worst Collection Ever here on the Sideshow Network, the show where we tell you about our crappy comic book collection. I'm Jen.
I'm Shawn.
And this is our holiday-themed episode.
Did we do a holiday theme last year?
I don't think so.
But no, I think there was. Wasn't there like...
There was, but I feel like we did it just as, like, at a random time.
Well, there was the Guy Gardner one.
Gardner one.
There was a Guy Gardner one that we did was a holiday theme, but I can't remember. I have to go back and look.
I don't know if we did.
I mean, I could go back and look. But
Yeah,
I don't feel
but this is our holiday episode.
This is officially holiday themed.
Because it'll come out on Tuesday.
Yes.
And Christmas is Friday.
Yes.
So this is our holiday episode.
Yep.
All right.
So we actually... I actually bought a digital comic.
Christmas-themed.
Christmas-themed digital comic for you, the listeners.
Right?
Yes. I did that.
I know.
Because I was like...
Because you care.
Because I care, because Marvel doesn't have shit.
They really don't have a lot of Christmas stuff.
DC's got like a million...
Yeah, and DC will just like release them at like any time of the year. They're like, July, here's a Christmas book.
So the first one we're going to read is our DC book. It's Captain Atom, Series 2? Well, Volume 2. It's the Nathaniel Adams one. Mm-hmm. It's the one that, when he came back. It's the 80s one, so, it's not because there was Captain Atom from Charlton, so we're not doing that. So anyway, so Captain Atom, number 13 from March 1988, which is a Christmas-themed episode.
Yes.
A Christmas-themed book.
It's like they're always late, so you always get these Christmas books.
Maybe this was released, I don't know, because I always feel like wrestling magazines, they're always dated, but they're dated a certain way. No,
I think comics, that's the month that came out in. And then this was probably supposed to be the Christmas one, and someone was late, or the art was late, or blah, 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 so it got released in March. Just, that's the way it happened.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but then...
DC's really shitty about keeping their deadlines, apparently.
DC has problems.
They really do.
Anyways, so...
They go back years.
Yeah. So anyways, on the cover, Captain Atom...
In a Santa hat.
Mm-hmm. Being held by men.
Drinking a beer.
Holding a beer. He's having a beer. Everybody's like, hooray!
Captain Atom, you're great.
Hooray for Christmas.
Yay, Christmas.
It's not as cheerful as you think.
Nope, this book not cheerful at all.
So, Captain Atom was starting off with, he is throwing his military ID in the water.
Like in a creek, in like a little like shallow one, so it's still like sticking out.
Yeah, so people are still gonna find it.
Yeah, that's not good. It's not like throwing it in the ocean. That's not really committing to throwing something in the water.
I think he wants to get it back.
Yeah.
But, which somehow
like if you commit, you throw that shit in the ocean. Or very deep water.
Or you do something with it so nobody can find it.
Yeah, you don't just go like, I'm going to throw it in 3 centimeters of water.
I'm going to throw it in this...
Just walk away.
I'm going to throw it in this drinking fountain.
I'm going to throw it in this puddle in the street. A pothole.
Yeah.
But that's what he does.
So, and I guess so his name is Cameron Scott?
Yeah, I don't really understand what's going on here.
Because he has a civilian identity as Cameron Scott.
Sure.
But he's still Captain Atom. Like, he still could turn into Captain Atom.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, and this is something I'm just noticing here.
He's white hair?
He's white hair, but he's 29 years old.
I know, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Both dudes in this book, and maybe it's because of what happened to them, have white hair.
Well, they have white hair, but they're
they're super young.
Super young, and apparently it's like everybody's
maybe they're albinos?
Yeah, that was...
I mean, seriously,
maybe. I don't know.
Or maybe they just went really, really gray, really, really young?
Yeah. Oh, could you hand me my drink?
Oh, I was like, what are you doing?
I was asking...
You're just gesticulating wildly.
Guys, this is good podcasting.
I was like, what's going on? I thought you were trying to... I thought there was a bug on me. I was like, what the hell?
There's a bug in the shape of a drink.
I don't understand what you're doing.
Yep.
Okay.
So he, so Captain Atom, he's kind of thinking, he's just sitting there and he's thinking about living his life.
Thinking about his life.
And basically this is right around the time in the series when
he quit his job.
He quit his job, as Captain Atom because basically he's talking about Major Force.
Yeah.
Because Major Force, for who we know, he's basically like he was also subjected to the same like quantum field experiments as Captain Atom was, and he survived. But Major Force, the guy that's Major Force, is just complete fucking wacko,
right?
And basically he kind of the government tried to pass him off as being cool, but we all know that he's not. And he's a piece of shit. And
yes.
Basically, there's big points of contention.
Yeah, and Captain Atom is just like, I'm tired of being the government stooge, walking off this job, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what he's having. He's having to think as he's standing on like a nice little bridge above his 3 centimeters of water, and it's snowing.
Yeah, so he's pissed off, and like General Eiling, who we get to meet later, we get to see later, is basically the the guy behind it, and it's just a big sordid affair.
Yeah. There's a lot of drama going on. Here's the thing too is
talking
about drama.
And the thing too is with the Major Force stuff, it's like I have like the annual that they're talking about in here, and it's just basically like Major Force just turns into like just a piece of shit vigilante. I mean, he goes on to he's the one that killed Kyle Rayner's girlfriend and put her in the fridge.
Nice.
Yeah. That's his claim to fame.
Good job.
And he's been featured in a bunch of other stuff that's just like he's just the biggest piece of horse shit.
Yeah.
But anyways, so what are we doing here? So Captain Atom is like, well,
it's over.
I'm
burning off my uniform.
Yeah, he puts on his uniform just to burn it off.
Yeah, he's like, good thing the snow makes it 0 visibility. No one will be able to see me burn my uniform off.
Why? Because we mean nobody who's looking in this direction. You're like in like a random bridge in Colorado or something.
Like in the middle of nowhere. But like, I like that he throws his ID in like 3 centimeters of water and then he burns his uniform.
Why didn't you just keep his ID?
Why didn't you just keep it in your pocket?
You could have burned it. Because you have quantum fire coming out of your body.
It would have been fine. You could have just burned it all. I mean, shit, you burned all the buttons off that shit with no problems.
Yeah, but so whatever.
So he flies off.
He flies off, and then we kind of...
We go to Major Force, I think.
No, this is Captain Eiling.
Okay.
Because this is who we spend all this time with.
I was trying to figure that out. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Okay.
This is Eiling.
All right.
And he's burning a newspaper, which I like. I like the newspaper. It's like, it's one of those like headlines that just is convenient enough.
Yes.
For for the guy,
yeah.
for the story.
Yeah.
And it's like Cap Atom tells Mage Force to pack it in.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't fit the whole thing in there, so they're like, because real newspapers have to do is they abbreviate, like.
Yeah, you just have to rewrite that headline.
He's like,
no one. They'd be like, no.
He's like, because I think he lives in DC, and so it's like DC newspapers just like meh.
Yeah, no.
Prez Obama runs country into grow, or whatever they're going to say.
You would have to rewrite that headline.
Prez Clinton caught with sex?
Question mark?
Sex?
But, yeah, no, you'd have to rewrite it. Because, I mean, yeah, there is a certain limited amount of space, but you don't get away with shit like that on the front page of any newspaper.
Yeah, so now we have Captain Eiling doing a think.
He's also having a flashback think, much like Adam just did. And he's thinking about Major Force, and about how Major Force is basically just like a crazy person.
How he really wanted Major Force and Captain Atom to be like best buds. As there's like, it's funny because there's this drawing where they're kind of like
where they're like buddies.
It's like I'll have to take a picture of this. Is kind of I just noticed this is like just very like.
It's very homoerotic.
Well, it's just weird. It's just like
because I mean, like Major Force is like 8 people wide, and then
he's like the Rock.
Yeah, and then Captain Atom is standing in front of him, but like sideways and like looking over his shoulder. It's very weird. It's kind of it's like a picture that you would like. It's an engagement photo for like somebody who's really bad at posing engagement photos.
That's a good point. It also could be the album cover to like a soft rock album from the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, like Adam and Force, and it's just like, they have a hot hit.
It's just nothing but Peter Cetera covers.
This is, actually, because Peter Cetera considered this.
He did.
He was like, because there was going to be Captain Adam.
It was a Hall & Oates cover at one point.
I just imagine Major Force with a giant mustache.
Yeah.
I'm also imagining Peter Cetera as being like, like Peter Cetera playing Captain Adam in a movie.
Sure.
So I think he could have pulled it off. Kind of looks like him.
Sure, why not?
You imagine if that was a movie in the 80s? It's like Captain Adam starring Peter Cetera, or maybe it's like, but this. Well, no,
crazy shit happened in the 80s, so I would believe that would happen.
Yeah, Richard Marx.
Dice had a fucking movie. Like,
we talked about that. Yeah, Richard Marx would be in it. Man, this would be good. I'm kind of thinking.
Don Henley in it?
Don Henley's in it. Fucking who else? Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins. Maybe some Rod Stewart in there.
Oh, Rod Stewart. Oh, this is gonna be like the Three Musketeers, but it's Captain Adam. All for Love, Sting, and fucking Bryan Adams.
Oh, you know what? This should surprise absolutely nobody, but I have a love of really bad music, and that song is probably up there on one of the worst of the best, or best of the worst.
Yeah.
I love that song.
It's not good.
No.
It's one of those ones where it's like, I forgot. I think the video's weird, too.
Oh, it is. It's like all four of them on stage, and then there's also...
Well, four of them. I mean, three. It's Sting, Bryan Adams, and Rod Stewart.
Isn't there a fourth guy?
I don't know.
All right, well, at least all those three guys are on stage.
We'll have to watch that after we're over here. Because I think it's like they give Sting shit for showing up late or something.
I don't remember.
There's like dialogue in it. It's like
at the beginning? I don't remember that part.
It's one of those talking videos.
Oh, see, I don't remember the talking part. I just remember all of them on stage, and then there's like clips of whatever movie it is. Like
it's the Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
Or no, wait, was it? No.
No, it's not the Three Musketeers. It's something else.
No, it was Three Musketeers because it wasn't. Bryan Adams did some stupid song for Robin Hood.
Yes, yeah.
But then
which is a great song.
But then Bryan Adams was like, I need we're doing Three Musketeers, and I need to get like my bros.
Yeah.
Get my singing bros. I know what I'm talking about.
I know you do. I'm just trying to yeah. I'm just looking. This
is what you guys come to for this podcast. You probably like. I really hope there's a review in the section in the comments where it's just like,
stop talking about bullshit.
It's like, I came to this podcast to hear about comic reviews and how bad they are. And they talked about Rod Stewart for 20 minutes and how he should be playing Captain Adam. And I was like, I don't understand. I don't even know who that is. I'm 12.
Why are these two fucking old people who insist on talking about comics? Yep, there it is.
That was right.
Adams. Oh yeah, I know. I'm just looking.
Okay, well we'll watch it later.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
We'll watch it later. I can't wait. This is something to look forward to, babe.
Yay!
So keep our Sunday afternoons lively.
This is what we do with our time.
Shawn, what did you do this week? I watched the 15-year-old video with my wife with Rod Stewart in it. Drink some cold brew coffee.
After attending a wrestling match the night before.
Oh yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the Forum.
You did?
Black Sabbath played there. That's a good time. I'm not going to that though.
Okay. Guys,
you want to know my calendar for the next year? So, guys, you know what I'm doing on next weekend? I'm going to a doctor's appointment, and then I have to go to Target. Okay.
Anyway, Major Force.
Major Force.
And their engagement photo.
Their engagement photo and bullshit, whatever.
And so he's like, this general guy.
Wade
is in.
Wade Eiling.
He's like in a cabin for Christmas with his dad.
His dad, who I will say, when I first read this, and the second time I read this, just now, I couldn't tell who the fuck was who.
Neither could I, because they look the same.
Because he's like, Dad, and I'm like, but you're both old.
Dude, you're both like, every man in this fucking comic except one has white hair.
But they're also not just only that, they're old as shit.
Yes. But I thought Captain Adam was really old. No, he's only 29 years old, even though he's got white hair. So it's a...
Granted, he was frozen in time.
I know. Yeah,
but still.
I know. We get to that. But, so... Everyone, General Wade's, old as fuck, and his dad is still alive.
That's how it is. Sometimes you have old dads.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, whatever. Like, my grandmother was 93, for fuck's sake. But, like, yeah, it happens.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. So there's so anyway. So Captain Adam's like, well, we'll get actually. No, we'll cover it.
So
yeah,
Wade is up at like a cabin with his dad or whatever, and he's got these two kids because he's their stepfather, right?
Yeah.
The two kids, the Randall and Peggy. Okay. And so he's got whatever, and they're up at this cabin for Christmas, and the dad is like, hey, how about you don't do as much, like, work stuff, because it's supposed to be a holiday.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I will do whatever I want to do. Basically. I'm a general.
I'm a general. That's what he says. I'm a general.
He's basically, what he is the gym coach from Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, he looks like but he has white hair.
Except he has white hair. He's when that guy gets old.
He's General Buzzcut.
Yeah,
or got Mr. Buzzcut. That's
kick me in the Jimmy. Just don't tell me what to do. And like that's basically what's going on in this book.
So,
Captain Adam.
So back to Captain Adam at home wearing clothes.
Who is very sad.
He's very sad because he's looking at his bills,
and he's also looking at his Charlie Brown Christmas tree, which is like. It's like this piece. It's a very small Christmas tree sitting on a table, which is fine.
Captain Adam is granted. He's got a pretty big house.
Yeah,
big place, and he's got.
Oh, he's got all sorts of shit.
He's got chips on the floor. You see the bag of chips?
Yeah.
He's living like a hobo.
Well, he's a young bachelor.
He's a
youngish
bachelor, just living like a crazy man.
Yeah.
With bags
like,
of chips.
Like a 16-year-old.
Okay, so again, this is the second week in a row where we talk about the decor of the superhero home.
Well, they're important.
You know, we talked about Gene Loring's home the other day.
Yeah, we did.
This one, so he's got like a pretty high ceiling.
Oh yeah.
In this place, he's got bags of chips on the floor, beer cans.
Yeah, he's also holding a Coca-Cola can, but you all.
Oh no, these are Coke cans. Okay,
yeah,
right,
all you see is the law because obviously they can't draw it.
Right, and he's got like what looks to be that's a lamp. Is that a lamp? Can you see that? Sorry, it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard. I think it's it's a lamp.
It's a lamp. Could be a fondue pot. Not sure.
A hanging fondue pot.
And then he's got like a giant bookshelf.
Oh yeah.
But like the books are really high.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, you'd need a ladder to get to those books. That's how fucking high they are.
I mean, granted, he could fly because he's Captain Adam.
Sure, but
why would you?
Who did they build this for?
I don't know. Why
superheroes?
It's a very he's
Does
like.
he live in Superhero Arms? Is that the apartment complex that he lives in? Where it's just like
did you imagine?
They're all high because they assume everyone can fly.
So like what's his face? Like Booster Gold walks. He's moving in and he's like. Well, Mr. Gold, we have high bookshelves and fondue pot, and then we have like in the kitchen we have random cans underneath.
Oh, this is great! Thanks.
This is great. I think I'm gonna like it here.
I like how most apartments where dude superheroes live, they have cans all over the place. Because remember when we went to Guy Gardner's apartment?
Well, Guy Gardner's just a monster. Yeah, I forget. Actually, Guy Gardner's just a freaking monster. It makes total sense that he lives in like I'm not I'm not completely shocked by him.
You live in squalor. This isn't a surprise.
Just like he's got. I mean, look at him. He's got a bowl cut for crying out loud.
True.
He went through the '80s with a bowl cut for the most part. He's probably just like whatever. If I pop a squat on the ground, it happens.
It does.
And it does. And here's my Dude magazine. I'm going to look at it. And, I can't reach the toilet, so I'll just do it right here.
Gross.
And here's a bag of chips, and my life is set.
Yeah, but Captain Adam a little bit cleaner.
Can't pay his bills. Throws his checkbook away, and he's
just sad. He's like, I need another job, and now I'm sad. And
he's like, I should count my blessings, but I don't got anybody to count them with. And he's talking about Peggy and Randy.
I don't understand how.
I think those are his kids.
But how is that possible? Has he been frozen in time?
I don't know. I should have did my research ahead of time, but I think they're somehow related to him because the kids.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Are stepkids to.
Yes.
Eiling.
Yes. But because he mentions later that he has been frozen in time since the 60s.
Right.
So how are those kids his kids? It is the 80s.
Maybe they were his kids.
Unless he got unfrozen 13 years ago, met a lady, fucked a lady, had a bunch of kids, and now he's like, now I'm sad because I'm alone in this century.
Well, maybe they were young kids, and now because the kids are older. But
if you got frozen in the late 60s...
Well...
I mean, maybe... if they're a teenager, maybe?
Do I need to look this up? So we can continue.
If you want to, yeah.
Not really.
I mean, we don't have to. We can just speculate.
Guys.
If you know, tell us.
Guys, how are we supposed to give you the right kind of...
if you know, which you probably do, just let us know.
If you know.
If not, Wikipedia.
If you care.
If you care. That's the problem. We don't care.
Anyways.
So then we cut to some dude in a payphone.
Yeah, wait, he's got a name.
It's like Charles or Clark's or...
Clark Kent. No. Let me just find his name real quick. So it's like... Chester. Chester King.
Yeah, and he's on the phone with his girlfriend who is waiting for him at home in nothing but lingerie because that's what women do in comics. They just wait around for dudes wearing nothing but negligee.
She says "love you," but she spells it wrong.
Yeah, LUV.
LUV.
It's like she's texting, like verbal texting.
She can't even speak correctly.
Is verbal texting just speaking?
Yes.
I'm verbally texting you.
Yeah.
So
she's like, come home, honey.
And
he's like,
I can't.
I got a job.
And she's like, oh my god, I don't want you to be late on Christmas Eve. And he's like, I promise, don't worry about it, it's gonna be worth it. So then like
I'm so sexy at home. I'll keep the eggnog warm.
I'm just gonna be like waiting for you in nothing but lingerie. It's fucking cold, bitch, it's snowing. Put on a robe.
Bitch, it's snowing, put on a robe. The Jen Stansfield Christmas album.
Pretty much.
Can it just be a picture of you sitting at the table very angrily, just drinking out of a Christmas mug?
Yes.
Just bitch, it's cold. Put on a mug. Put on a mug.
Put on a mug. Bitch, it's cold. That's just my album. Just bitch, it's cold. It's just me, like, wrapped up in blankets, angrily drinking out of a Christmas mug.
You can open up for, like...
Everybody?
You can open up for Rod Stewart as Captain Adam at his Christmas concert.
Who else is opening for Rod Stewart these days? Nobody. Obviously, it needs to be me.
Obviously, he needs top-notch acts. You need a top-notch act. You need Jen Stansfield and her comedy stylings from Bitch It's Cold.
So he hangs up with the cold girl, and he calls... I don't know.
So he calls his boss
generic, angry.
He calls Chester.
he
calls Business McEvil.
Yeah, Business McEvil.
And he's telling this guy's basically like, hey, I'll just do the cliff notes. Hey, burn down my shitty building, and I can make lots of money. And I know you're like a guy that knows how to burn down shitty buildings and blame them on other people. So
do it for me,
and
I'll give you a lot of money so you can take your sexy girlfriend, wife, or whatever she is, to the Bahamas for Christmas. He's like, yeah, good idea.
Right. So now we go back, and now we're back at the cabin with Eiling and Old Man Eiling. And,
Old Man Eiling and Older Man Eiling.
Older Man Eiling, and they're with their kids, who are playing outside in the snow.
Well, they are teenagers, so maybe they are Captain Adam's kids.
I guess they're teenagers. They seem like they're like 20. Oh, it's hard to tell because everybody looks like kind of the same age, but they're not.
Yeah, the only thing that changes is the hair color.
Yeah, they're like Ken dolls, but with like different colored hair.
It's like they're like Lego figurines, and they just like pop on new hairstyles because they pretty much look the same. So they're outside in the snow, and then Old Man.
So Eiling.
Oh yeah,
regular Eiling.
Regular Eiling's on the phone, and like. Is this the Old Man? So
regular Eiling's on the phone, Old Man, who kind of looks like Captain Adam here.
He does. That's the thing. I thought he was the son because he also looks like the son at the end of the book.
Right.
So not Captain Adam, just like son. And so he's like, son, like there's kids are playing outside, and he's like, I'm busy. I need privacy. I'm talking about classified shit, and his dad's like, ah.
Yeah.
And he's like, get the fuck out of the room. So his dad like stomps off.
So then Captain Adam now, looking just like the same guys in the three... Literally, they look the same
exactly. Like, they're even wearing the same color clothes.
So, here's the thing, though. So, he's talking about Peggy and Randy, who are the kids.
Yeah.
And he's like, they're somewhere in the Colorado Rockies. Oh, hey, that's where you're from.
Yeah.
So they're with Eiling and his old man. Who could tell them apart?
Nobody. But he's like, yeah, I have nobody. I'm just having a sad walk through the city at Christmas time, thinking about how I don't really fit in this decade, and like, or is that just how everybody feels in the 80s, that they just don't fit into this decade? I'm like, I trying to be all like, existential or whatever, but it's kind of like, dude, you don't choose the times in which you're born.
Yeah, it
is what it is. Like,
this is how you live your life.
Sorry, like I don't know. I never felt displaced in the 80s, but I was also a child, so I don't know. Maybe everybody felt that way except kids.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
So So anyways,
Chester breaks into that building.
Chester breaks into the building, basically sets like a firebomb.
Yep.
And there's a lot.
But he also, before he does that, he gives a bum money.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot.
It's very important. He gives Bubba the bum money,
and he even gives him a tip. He's like, "Hey, man, you give me $1." He's because the guy's like, "Hey, you got a quarter?" And he's like, "Ask for more money, get $1." And he's like, "Here's $1." And he's like, "Oh, thank you, sir."
Yeah. So anyway, before he did that, he met Bubba, and now he sets this bomb. So then he leaves. And Bubba is, like, squatting in a building with his buddies or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're, like, having bum Christmas.
Yeah, they're having a bum Christmas. And
so then, instead of going home, which he was supposed to do, this Chester guy, he was like, I'm on my way home. He decides to stop at a bar and, like, spend all the money he was going to spend on his chick's plane fare, like, buying drinks for everybody at the bar that he doesn't, like, and he doesn't know anybody there.
Yeah.
And, of course, Captain Atom just happens to be there having a sad beer.
He's drinking a beer.
I'm assuming he's drinking, like, Coors or something, if you're having a sad beer.
He's having a sad Strohs.
Yeah. Because
he's, like, sitting there.
Yingling.
And he's just, like, having a really, like, one of those, like, things where it's like, man, I haven't been to a bar since the 60s, but now I'm here.
Yeah, everything's so different.
Am I an alien? Really. Nobody knows me. I'm a hero, but I'm sad.
Yeah. It's like, everything's so different now in this decade. And you're like, the fashions might have changed, but, like, going to a bar is pretty much the fucking same no matter when it was. You know? There might be women there, depending on when. But other than that, it's kind of the same.
So now we go back to the Eilings, and Old Man Eiling,
of course,
is telling the story about him being in a war. The big war.
Flying a goddamn biplane.
Yeah, because that's how they did back then.
I guess.
That's a warplane.
Yeah.
And basically, he's talking about...
It's like a Snoopy cartoon.
Oh, no, this exactly is like a Snoopy.
It's exactly even got, like, the red...
the Red Baron.
Except it's not a biplane. That one's a triplane. It has 3 wings.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, so this is... actually, this is kind of like the
moral.
The moral part is kind of... It's basically, if you've ever heard the Snoopy Christmas one, where it's like, Christmas bells, oh Christmas bells, that song.
Yeah.
Which is, I love that song. I love that about Snoopy and how the Baron doesn't kill him.
Right. Yeah, because his plane is damaged or whatever. It's leaking fuel. Well, in here, he's leaking fuel.
Well, okay, so basically...
It's the same thing.
It's the same story where, Old Man Eiling is talking about... He's telling the kids, who, again, I can't tell how...
Well, no idea how...
Because here's the thing, it's the 80s, so...
They could be teenagers, maybe if they were born in the very late 60s.
But they're like... I don't know, it's just weird, because they look... I don't know, they look young enough.
I don't know. Maybe they're early 20s. I don't know, whatever, they're kids.
Everybody's drawn very weird in this book.
It's hard to tell who's what. So anyway, like, he's, like, talking about how he was flying, and he sees this guy, and his plane, like, was leaking fuel, and then he gets into this, like, firefight, kind of, where they're, chasing each other around the sky.
Let me say, it's not just Eddie Guy, it's Hans von Hammer.
Well, it's like the Red Baron.
Well, he's in DC Comics, he's known as the Enemy Ace. He's an actual character.
Okay. I just thought it was the Red Baron.
Well, no, this is Enemy Ace, who's, like, was known as, like, the best German fighter pilot, like, ever.
Okay.
But he kind of, like, had him, because he had his own series and he had his own stories and stuff back in the 60s and 70s.
That there's, like, the old DC, like, fighting fighter pilot.
Oh, yeah, no, he was all...
What are they called? I can't remember.
Sergeant Rock?
No.
The losers?
No, they're birds. There's that woman who was in it.
Oh, Blackhawks? No.
Yes.
No, he did. He probably did. He probably was a part of all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's got like, trade paperbacks and shit.
Okay.
So he's an actual character, and, like, basically what happened was the Enemy Ace spared Old Man Eiling
because
mercy.
He had a code.
Because he had a code of not shooting on a plane that was damaged.
Right, that was disabled.
Because
it wouldn't be fair, it would just be murder. So he, like, saluted him and, like, started to fly away. And the guy's like, did you know what I did after he saluted me? Well, I just pulled out, like, a regular old revolver and shot at him. Like, don't you have guns on your plane? Like, why did you use literally a handgun?
Maybe it was damaged. I don't know.
He just shot it with a handgun.
So what I did, when he passed by me, I threw shot a slingshot at him.
Threw a rock on him. It was a big rock.
Threw my lighter at him.
You ever see? I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
What?
There's Batman the Animated Series called Almost Got Him, which is like a bunch of villains sitting around a table playing poker, sharing stories about how they almost got Batman. And Killer Croc's is that he threw a rock at him, and everybody looks at him and is like, "Well, it was a big rock." Have you ever seen that one?
I haven't seen a lot of Batman the Animated Series.
I'm not going to spoil the ending of that one, though.
Oh no, I just know. I see the ones that you watch, but I don't watch a lot.
They're
of them.
the best.
I know they're the best. I know they're great. It was never Batman's not my bag as much.
But it's such a good show.
I know it's a good show.
And they make that car now.
Yes.
That car's fucking cool.
Yeah, that car is pretty cool. It lights up and everything. Was it your I want that car?
I really do, but I don't know what the fuck I would do with it. Like, where am I going to put it?
I don't know. Anyway, so basically, the NEA spares him mercy, and then the father, Old Man Eiling's like, look, it's bullshit that I was spared from by a code from an enemy, or by the code of an enemy, but
you know what? What I did was wrong, and there's when at the end of the day, there's no scorecard. Like, the only thing that really matters is family. Blah 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 blah, and Eiling just gets fucking furious at his dad for daring to think that maybe he did the wrong thing during battle.
Yeah.
And telling the kids about it, and he was just like, that's when he really looks like,
the buzz cut?
Buzz cut. It was
because he goes off the old man, and he's spitting out his stogie, and he's
putting it out on a cup of coffee, stamping off because he's so mad he's gonna go stand outside in the cold.
Yeah.
He's just so mad that somebody would ever question, what they did in battle or whatever, and tell the kids about it. And so then we're back at the bar.
Captain Adam's like, meh. And basically, the building across the street starts on fire because
that guy,
Chester King, started on fire. And some guy's like, oh shit. But, some guy runs in. It's like, hey, the building's on fire. And there's, squatters in there.
Yeah.
And
that's when Chester was like, wait, what? I didn't realize there was anybody in there.
Here's what I like those people, because basically Captain Adam's sitting there like, I should do something. It's time to help. And people are like, what do we do?
They're throw snowballs at the flames? What can we do? We're just regular people. I don't know, call the fire department?
They do that, but then but they're like, I like somebody's like, throw the flames. And just as that's happening, out comes a flaming hobo.
Yes.
Because this book has hobos on fire.
It sure does.
Literally on fire.
Yeah, no, it's literally... And so, Chester takes off his coat and, smothers the guy, but, oh, guess what? It's his friend, Bubba.
He says he's my friend. Yeah, I'm like, was he? We just gave him some money.
Literally met him, 2 minutes ago. I mean, you don't want anybody to die, especially a horrible burn death, because that is just not the way to go. But, and then, but now he's feeling bad. He's having moral issues about what he just did because he didn't mean to hurt anybody.
He didn't mean to hurt anybody. He just meant to burn down a building.
Yeah, that's all. But an empty building.
Empty building. So it's cool to burn down stuff. Nobody's in it.
Yeah. Fine, whatever. So he's all sad and he's like, "Oh my god, what have I done?" And then, of course, who shows up? But Captain Adam.
Captain Adam, because there's everybody's like, oh my god, there's more hobos in there. Let's go. Somebody save them. And thankfully, Captain Adam's like,
here I am.
It's funny because people are like, hooray! Thank Lord for superheroes.
Yeah.
You really need to say that out loud.
No one needs to say that out loud.
Hooray for people with powers.
Have you ever said hooray seriously?
No.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah, no, I've not.
Hooray! Maybe joking, maybe? Yeah, I think. Anyway, so Captain Adam's like, oh my god, it feels like the first time I've ever done this. This is great, because I'm finally free. I'm not underneath the government's heel. And then so he
the government keep me down from saving lives, now I'm doing it.
Yeah. Don't tread on me, bros, or whatever, Sure.
So as that's
so he saves the hobos, but as that's happening,
so Eiling, young man Eiling, is in the study, burning his hand like fucking
in the fire,
in an open flame,
shoved it into the fire,
like fucking Gary Busey in Lethal Weapon, just shoving his hand in the fire. It's like, I'm a man, I'm tough. I was raised tough, all that stuff. And his dad comes in.
I'm Megan Fox in that one movie, burning my tongue with a lighter.
What?
Yeah, and like Jennifer's Body.
But she was dead.
Yeah, but yeah.
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 So I'll talk about yeah.
But she's not actually dead.
Right.
Okay.
But so he's burning his hand, and
old man Eiling is like, here, let me fix it for you.
Old man Eiling, and he's like, look, I wouldn't want you to make the same mistake, and he's like, you know what? Don't talk soft in front of my kids.
Yeah, don't tell my kids that they should have feelings.
Especially Randy, because he's a man.
Yeah.
And his father's like, okay.
Make sure toxic masculinity runs through our entire family so it damages all of us irreparably. He's like, okay.
And now he's telling us, like, put a smile back in your face. It's Christmas. It's Christmas, bells, oh, Christmas.
Yeah, I'm no pussy. Fuck you. Chest bump, jumps into a tree.
Just a tree.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Maybe he goes to fight the inflatable snowman.
Maybe he does. Well, that's right, because last night at the wrestling, Jen was very intense. Yeah, she's been talking lately about fighting an inflatable snowman.
I just really have an overwhelming urge to punch one of those inflatable, lotto things. I just really want to fight one, and I know I would lose. That's probably the worst part. But, at wrestling, they had, a tree and an inflatable snowman, and I was like, oh my god, please somebody fucking get thrown into that snowman, and nobody did, and I was sad.
So
anyway,
so the hobo, they put the firemen are there, put out the fire, and they're like, we got everybody out but one, and then somehow,
they give him his coat back.
They give him his coat back that has dead hobo burn skin on it. I mean, it totally does.
It does. It's probably melted to that hobo, and they just pulled it off.
And they're like, well, we got
all gooey and gross, and they're like, you're having back. I'm like, no, thank you. You can take that with him.
You guys could do something.
Give him his coat back, and it's got hobo bits stuck to it. It's so gross. It's like pulling gum off the bottom of your shoe. He's like, here you go, have this.
Do you want your corpse laced jacket back?
Do you want someone else's DNA? Here you go.
You ever want to wear the skin of another man? Now you can. Because that's how you make those. You want to make a manskin coat. You gotta get a hobo nice and crispy, and then put it on them. And that's how they make them. How do you think
London Fog earned their name?
So just imagine anytime you see a model picture of
a guy in a trench coat,
Henry Cavill modeling London Fog or whatever.
Yeah, he's just wearing a hobo trench coat.
And he just doesn't. It just says underneath it's like a hobo's skin is underneath this. It's
like a horror movie under there.
Anyways, this is not a good Christmas book.
No, it's really sad. So then of course this guy gets away with burning this place down, and then he walks away, and there's a Salvation Army Santa.
I just forgot too. There's another part where somebody was like, "Hey, those squatters in there." It's like, "Oh my god, those slobs!" Somebody calls them slobs because everybody's just like, "Fucking slobs, get them out of the fire." Anyways, so he walks by to
the Salvation Army Santa, and he's like, "Here," and the Salvation Army Santa's like, "You just gave me $5,000." He's like, "Yeah."
Did he give him a check, or did he just give him cash?
I don't know. I'm assuming just cash. Did you really take a check for the?
He can still go to the Bahamas, though.
Yeah, but I don't think you can get a check for burning down a building. I think that has to be done in cash.
Okay, you're right. It just says on the bottom, "Burn down building, hooray!"
Just smiley face.
Smiley face on fire.
Draw a little happy fire next to it. It's like a little emoji.
Fire
smiley emoji fire.
Happy fire emoji. So yeah.
Do they have one of those?
I don't know, but it would be perfect for this. It was funny if that's what if this was now, he could have just sent him his guy. Yeah, he would have PayPal'd his money and then just sent him a check or send him like his employer a bunch of happy fire smile emojis.
To mean that it's done.
It's like if I get 3 happy fire smile emojis, it means the job is covered.
Yep.
And I'm a rich man, and everybody's rich. Hooray for Christmas! Anyways,
Yay, Christmas!
Anyways, so speaking of hooray, people are
Captain Adam goes back to the bar dressed as Captain Adam, and everybody's like, "Yeah, you saved the day, Captain Adam.
Hip, hooray!
We're gonna pick you up on our shoulders." Which, again, is that something that actually happens?
Well, also,
and so they like put him down.
He's also, first of all, though, I don't know if you want to be touching him because he is kind of like all quantum and silvery. It's like,
yeah, but doesn't that suit like keep all?
The suit keeps all of it in, but yeah. I don't know. I have to have my doubts.
Yeah. So anyway, he's like, he gets put down, and of course, then somebody's like, "Hey, super guy," and he turns around and so there's this blonde chick, who I believe, if we read into one of the phone calls that Eiling had, where he says, "Yes, she's perfect for this operation," okay. I'm assuming she's been sent by Eiling.
Well, you're probably right.
Yeah, and she's like, "Hey,
So
I think we're the same." Whatever.
So she goes, she's like, "Hey, we have a mutual uncle," in quotes, "uptown who thought it might be a good idea if I sort of looked after you a while." And he's like, "Hey, it's a special night, Eve. Not gonna let anybody spoil this Scooby, not even our uncle." So maybe he kind of knows.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't actually know. And he's like, "You want to get out of here?" And she's like, "I thought you'd never ask," or whatever. And like, then they walk off holding hands because, like, that's how you pick someone up at a bar, I guess.
Back in the 80s. It's a different era.
It's not that different, is it, Captain Adam?
He's getting an atomic hand job.
Can you have sex with Captain Adam?
Well, he could turn into his regular self.
Yeah, but if you don't even want to touch him, like, when he's in his suit, do you really want him to jizz everywhere?
Well,
Does he? Can he?
Yeah, he could. He's still got a regular dick.
Isn't it an atomic dick, though?
I don't know.
It's like Fukushima down there.
Fukushima? Wait, what's Fukushima?
Isn't that the place where the earthquake fucked up?
Wait,
in
what?
Japan? The reactor.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Hiroshima.
No. Let me make sure that is correct.
Okay, yeah, please get your Japanese disasters correct.
Oh, I'm right. Fukushima.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're both...
I read news.
Anyways, that's it for Captain Adam. Number.
Would you read the next one?
Well, yeah, there's a cat. That's for Captain Adam, number 13. Captain Adam, number 13, March 1988. I would read the next one. I like Captain. He's kind of teetering on one of those series that I may seek out.
Oh boy!
Because it's one of those ones where you go to dollar bins and you just find like a shit ton of them
because it's terrible.
Because you just find them and you're like, whatever, I'll read it. And there's stories and he's quantum this and I've actually got quite a few Captain Adams.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one with Swamp Thing. I got one with Red Tornado in it. So I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Would you read it?
Probably not.
Even if you want to find more about his quantum dick and hobo skin coats.
I'm not really that interested in his quantum dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was also Captain Adam's kind of a dick in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like he was anytime that he shows up in like the DC animated shows.
He's not as fucking insane as fucking the Atom.
No.
That man was insane.
No, the Atom actually surprised me a lot. I was like, dude, you're a maniac. Like Captain Adam's just like, it's the 80s. I'm having problems here,
Yeah.
It's like my bills and my chips on the floor and my high bookshelves. What am I going to do?
I'm so sad.
Man. Granted, I don't care anything about fucking Eiling and his dad and shit. I'm like, can we just forget about that?
Old and older Eiling.
Spent 45 minutes talking about a fucking Captain Adam book.
Probably.
We're doing the Lord's work. Anyways, that's it for Captain Adam. We'll be back with our next one. All right, we're back here on Words Collection over here on Sideshow Network. Hope you're still with us.
Everybody's.
Because I keep looking at the lengths of these episodes.
They just get longer.
And they keep getting longer and longer because we're just so comfortable now as podcasters. Because you and I are just like, we're just bullshitting and it's fun.
Yeah.
But, it's also like, I'm like, man, we just spent 45 minutes talking about Captain Adam, which, we're talking about stuff, like I feel we're being pertinent to the book.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do. So this next one, it's our second Christmas themed episode. I actually got this one because here's the thing. So I was looking for Marvel books that were Christmas themed, or
holiday themed in general.
Holiday themed, yeah. And I was like, well, I don't know. The only thing I could think of when we were talking about this was like Ben Grimm is Jewish and he talks about Hanukkah a lot, and I was like,
great.
Sure.
Do we have one of those books?
Is there a Hanukkah book or something? I don't know. I could not think of it. So. And they have holiday specials, so we could have did those. Could have did one of those. Because DC has those too. But they're like they're anthologies, so there's more than like one story in there, and it's just like I don't typically care to do that. So anyways, so here's one that I found a recommendation of a very significant Marvel issue. It's Uncanny X-Men number 143 from March 1980. It is. So this is, I don't know if this is technically the worst. Well, I mean, because I have to say, it's actually kind of a good story.
It's actually a pretty good one.
It's actually pretty good. But, it's.
I mean, it's fine. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It could be worse.
It could be worse. There are some moments in here. There is some stuff that goes down in here, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're like, what?
Yeah. So actually, I think we could get through this one pretty good.
Yeah.
So anyway, start off. It's the cover is "Merry Christmas, X-Men," and it's Shadowcat on the cover, and she's being.
Oh, it's Kitty Pryde.
Well, Kitty Pryde, Shadowcat. That's her name.
She only went by Kitty Pryde. I don't know anything about the X-Men.
She goes by both.
Okay.
Her codename is Shadowcat, but
whatever.
Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
Anyways, so she is in a room and she's being. Menaced by a giant alien behind her.
Yep.
Says, guess what just came down the chimney?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. So we start off with a splash of Storm.
Though I do have to say, this book came out in March, so Marvel also fucking up.
That's true. Actually, the Captain Atom came out in March as well.
Yeah,
so
you guys suck at this.
You guys aren't very good.
You guys are not good at planning.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
logistics, not your strong suit.
So we go back. Actually, this is like a first part is a flashback of Storm apparently fighting
the Nuglugs.
Where's the name?
The next page, maybe.
See, now I got to do the guided view. The
Nagari. Nagari.
Nagare.
Okay. Yeah.
And so they're like these creepy aliens.
Alien bugs
that, for some reason, Storm is the only one that has to fight them.
Yeah. But she fights them or whatever, and then not really...
This is all the way back from, like, issue 96 that this happens.
This is a while. So she fights them and whatever, and they just leave, like, the wreckage of this Nagari ship, just, like, on Earth, and no one ever cleans it up.
It just happens to be around by where the X-Men is. Basically, Storm uses, like, her gigantic lightning powers.
Yeah, to just destroy this thing. But, like, nobody ever goes to clean up the shit, so it just sits there for a really long time, and then Professor X is just like, it's fine. But it wasn't, because all of a sudden, out of the wreckage, years later...
comes a monster.
A monster.
A demon who looks like basically a xenomorph.
Yeah.
From Alien.
Yeah.
So, now we get a young couple.
Yeah.
Doing what young couples do.
Going to cut down a Christmas tree.
Going to cut down a tree, and he's like...
Do people do that still? I've never done it.
I don't know.
I mean, to me, it's always been like, go to a Christmas tree lot, or just buy a fake tree.
Going to cut down a tiny tree, apparently. Do you want to give it to this Captain Atom?
Yeah, they are, because it's about the same size as his. But, like, I didn't realize, like, I mean, maybe that's a thing if you live closer to trees.
Yeah. So apparently they just drive out to, Westchester, wherever they're at.
Yeah, and they're just like, hey, we're going to just walk into the forest and cut down a tree, and it's going to be our tree.
Because the woman's like, hey, why don't we, like, go and get, like, a tree?
Yeah. And he's like, no, we have plenty of time to get one from a Christmas tree lot. This is our first Christmas together. It's going to be special. I'm going to cut down this tree for you. And I'm going to think naughty thoughts about you. And we're going to have the sex underneath our tiny tree.
Well, here's the thing. The way that, like, because he's like, I think very naughty thoughts. Because, like, she's like, oh, you're sweet. And he's like, I think very naughty thoughts. And she's like,
oh, yeah, like what?
And for a second, I thought that he was going, because they hear a noise. Mm-hmm. And I thought he was going to, like, find a space for them to fuck.
In the snow.
And then, but after I read closer, I was like, oh, that's okay.
That would be horrible.
But
he was like, oh no, I'll go. That's just. She's like, what is it? He's like, oh, it's just a noise, no big deal. And like he goes to find it, and it's the alien, which kills him immediately, and then kills his wife, girlfriend, friend.
Eats his body, eats his soul,
and they just sucks the life out of both of them.
Yeah, that's what you get for going in the woods.
Yep. See, this is why we stay where civilization is.
Yeah, stay inside, especially when it's fucking snow out. Jesus Christ.
So, but at the mansion. Professor X is talking to Kitty Pryde about like her lessons on how to start the jet or something.
Yeah, because the Blackbird, she's like, hey, you should like learn how to do this and stuff because you need to be well rounded. Right. And she's like, I'm 13. Sigh.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that she's 13. By the way.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a part later that really upsets me that she's 13. So Angel shows up and he's like, hey, Professor, time to go or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, great.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
So you guys don't get to hear the pages rustling.
No, not this time.
Not this time.
She's like, oh, I'm so glad you're here. And he's like, oh, okay, well, it's time to go. And so everybody's standing by the door. Wolverine's there with his girlfriend.
Yeah, he's there with his girlfriend. He's introducing her to everybody. It's his Mariko.
Yeah, and like
his girlfriend who's gonna die soon.
Yeah,
because all of his girlfriends die
soon. And then Nightcrawler shows up with like, I'm assuming it looks like a piece of holly, but I'm assuming that's mistletoe.
Yeah.
And he like gives her, he's like, hey, it's been so long. He like gives her a kiss on the cheek, and like Wolverine just like tries to literally take his head off with his claws.
Yeah, like Wolverine.
He's like, how dare you? Fuck you! Don't tell. That's my chick. Blah blah. And I'm like, whoa, that is a red flag.
He's like, back off, Elf. And I'm like, dude.
No wonder she's gonna die. Does Wolverine kill her?
I mean, I think she gets killed by association.
You're gonna die, bitch. Run. Run,
bitch, run!
Run, bitch, run! Like, you're just gonna get killed because
he loses his shit. And it's like, I know that he gets berserker rage.
That is a bad sign. If you were with a guy and, like, a friend comes up and goes, hey, how's it going, and kisses you on the cheek, and your boyfriend almost takes his goddamn head off, break up with that guy. Because that's a bad sign.
And she doesn't phase her at all. She's like, oh, okay.
And Professor X is like, what the hell? And everybody's like, man, like Colossus is there too, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? It was okay.
And then Professor X gets in his head, and he's like, Logan, you have no chill. What the hell?
He's like, what's wrong with you? And Logan, of course, is wearing like the most 70s outfit. Because he's wearing like a bolo tie and like one of those like Southwestern type jackets that has like 4 pockets. He
actually kind of looks like an oil tycoon.
He does, because he even puts on a cowboy hat.
He looks like Duke Bonaventure.
Oz Bonaventure?
Oz Bonaventure.
Yeah, because he even puts on a white cowboy hat. Like
Oz Bonaventure made all his money in boiled denims.
And they're like, and he's like, man, I thought I was over the rage, but I guess I'm never over the rage. And oh well, I'm just gonna take this soon-to-be dead woman with me. And
I like that's what he said.
Soon-to-be dead woman.
Oh, you're gonna die soon, right? Come on.
So like, of course, Kitty Pryde is just like, oh, I'm gonna take this mistletoe and I'm gonna put it over Colossus's head and I'm gonna kiss him on the cheek and I'm gonna call him sexy. But I'm only 13. Colossus is like 9,000.
He's at 9,000. I don't think he's that old.
I know he's not that old.
But she's 13.
She's 13, and he is obviously a grown man.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like, blushes when she kisses him, and that is gross.
Yeah.
Like, if she was, like, 17...
You'd be like, yeah.
I'd be like, alright, you're gonna turn 18 soon, whatever. You just kissed him on the cheek. You are 13! Gross!
Yeah.
You should be kissing 13-year-old boys.
And Professor X is like...
Not 27-year-old men.
And I like the Professor... Gross. I like that Professor X is just like, meh.
Professor's like, it's totally okay.
It's just cool.
It's not okay.
Well, he's got, like, Nightcrawler in there. He's got Storm, and they're all, studying. Nightcrawler's weird as shit. So he's probably like, meh, could be worse. Meet your future wife.
Could you imagine all the fucking that goes on in that mansion? I mean, with all the young, unbridled hormones galloping around.
Yeah, how come we haven't thought more about? Well, I think they. I mean,
they kind of do, but
Professor X is like, let's check and see how everybody's doing. Oh God, oh God, everybody's fucking.
How does Professor X not hear all of them mentally thinking about fucking each other?
I don't know. He's very good at being a telepath. He's the world's strongest telepath.
Yeah, I know, but
so he's pretty good at like just being like, all right,
blocking shit out.
I can make a small island, and then just make it like it's very small. Make the world very small.
Very small. You focus on one thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Storm shows up and she's like, all right, professors, it's time to go.
I like that actually you could see Colossus picking up Professor X's chair.
Yeah, he just like, carries
because he's like, I was like, I'm so strong, I'll just carry you outside.
Yeah.
You know, because they're going, I don't know where they're going.
I know, they're going somewhere, and everybody leaves. Angel's off to fuck his girlfriend, who he hasn't seen in a long time.
Because he's in the Defenders kind of at this time, too.
And he's like, I haven't seen you. You might not see me until Easter. So, like, I guess he's
going to fuck.
A lot of fucking.
He's going to fuck for an entire, for 4 months.
Yes.
6 months.
He's taken a lot of Viagra.
It's just kind of like, I got this raging heart, I go fly. He's like, I know. So, Angel,
Sleep,
you go
fuck, eat, fuck, laundry, fuck. It's like he's fucking while doing all of those things.
We gotta find out what was going on in the next 6 months for Warren here.
Yeah.
What if he was fucking those 6 months?
I'm sure. And so she's like, bye. She's all alone, and she has her Star of David on because she's Jewish, and she's like, oh, this is like the first Hanukkah I've ever spent without my parents. I should probably call them and wish them a happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
But her parents don't answer because her parents hate her. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Probably not. So then and then the phone rings, and it's fucking Cyclops, who nobody likes. That's probably why everybody left. They were like, he's gonna call. Nobody be here.
The phone just ringing, and the Professor X is like, Scott.
Don't no one answer it.
No. Nobody answer. Don't want to. He's just going to be.
Caller shows up. He's like, don't touch that phone.
Because he's just going to be, Wolverine's like, slice.
Slicing the phone lines. They're like, finally, Logan, you've used your claws for good.
He's just sitting there, like, not answering. Because he's just going to call White about Jean.
Yeah, shut it. No one wants to hear Scott.
Nobody wants to hear you talk.
Nope.
Anyway, so we show him, and for whatever reason, he's like.
He calls to be like, oh, it's weird that everybody left you alone, but I just want to call to say Merry Christmas. And he's like on a dock somewhere. And then he like walks up to a sailor and he's like, hey, can I get work on this boat? But the sailor happens to be a girl. Ugh.
You're a girl!
Oh my god, you've got a vagina. Yeah.
Are you Jean Grey? I'm sad.
Yeah, your vagina reminds me of Jean because Jean had a vagina. And he just cries.
Fuck you, Cyclops. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so basically,
I hate Cyclops.
Kitty decides to...
She's bored, and
it's funny because she decides to put on her costume.
I know.
And
like, you would think that, like, a 13-year-old girl would just, like, watch TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Or do something, paint her nails.
Something, talk on the phone.
Read Tiger Beat.
Yeah.
It's the 80s. Listen to some David Cassidy records or
sure.
Loggins and Messina.
Yeah.
Listen to Rod Stewart as Captain Adam. It's great. It's great Captain Adam album.
I know. Like, I don't know what she's like, no, I'm going to go like turn on the danger room even though I'm not supposed to do it unsupervised. And like do workouts and complain about like why I have to work out because it's dumb. I shouldn't have to.
But she's gonna be so fit. She's gonna be like, I'm gonna be like a female Schwarzenegger. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, 13-year-old Schwarzenegger. And then she hears like an alarm.
Oh, our cat. She's very excited about something.
What is it, sweetheart?
Leela, what you hear? Guys, this is fascinating. You guys want to know what our cat's listening to?
I don't know what she's doing. She's just meowing at stuff.
Well.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, so like Kitty Pryde's like, whoa, what was that alarm? And she
goes upstairs and finds that it's like in apparently Storm's room or whatever. And Storm's like
has like
she has like plants and they're all dead.
Dead plants.
And there's goo. And
it's the alien.
It's the alien. He's here.
He busted in.
And so basically we get like probably about a lot of pages. We can kind of go through this because a lot of it's just her being like, "Oh, I gotta figure out."
It's a lot of her thinking to herself.
It's basically all it is her thinking to herself
about how she has to get away from this monster.
She's gonna outsmart this alien
because apparently it seems really smart and it can figure out what she's trying to do. So it's just all because she's running through walls and just like running through the mansion. And
she's phasing through walls and it's just bursting through stuff. It's fucking up the mansion. It
really
hardcore.
Is. And so like
there's nobody else there. Apparently, there's no other. I mean, I thought there was more people in this mansion.
I thought so, but I guess no one but her is there, which is weird. And so, like, it's slicing, and she's trying to call, but she can't get to the phone because it keeps, like, fucking her up, and so she's running.
It kind of phases through her once, and it kind of really, like...
Like, she can feel its claws, even though she, like, phases out.
Which is kind of creepy.
She tricks it into going into the danger room. It still catches up with her. There's fighting. There's fire.
Yeah, it goes into the danger room, and she tries to, like, attack it with whatever...
It doesn't work.
Things is, and it starts ripping up the floor.
Yeah, it's really fucking up the danger room. So it does that,
and it starts setting off all like these alarms, and it starts attacking and things. So like these things, you know, she's not good enough like as a tactician,
right,
to like avoid all this shit. So she's got to like try to get out, and it's you know it's attacking her, and this alien is relentless.
Yeah, so she's just running, and then so finally she makes her way to like the hangar
where they have the X-Men ship.
Where the Blackbird is. And so she's like, oh, okay, I'm going to get on the ship and then take off, I guess. But then she has this idea where she's not going to take off. She's going to wait till it gets close enough and then burn it to death with the engine.
Because she figures for some reason that it doesn't like fire.
Well, not many things do.
Not many things do.
That is a reasonable deduction for most things.
Most aliens don't like fire. I actually do remember in the Aliens arcade game, you have a flamethrower and you just burn the shit out of things. That's a sweet game, by the way. It was. I
remember that game.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
Wait, well, you got the like thing and you go.
But it's not the first person shooter.
Oh no!
There was a side scroller that they made that was based on the second movie where you're Ripley and you just fucking like walked around with a flamethrower and a fucking big ass gun and just shot things.
I was talking about the first person shooter.
I would love that. Man, that game was dope as hell. If it's available somewhere, I need it. I don't think it was ported anywhere, but that's basically what's kind of what happens here. And she's like, I gotta figure out how to and it's ironic because she's in the Blackbird. She's trying to remember how to start the Blackbird because in the very beginning. Professor X is like he's like we'll go over the initiation sequence because you need to know this, and she's like, and it just happens to be.
Well, that's
the same
like
thing.
As I was reading that, I was like, is this like she's in the danger room and she doesn't realize it?
That's what I thought too.
Because did Professor X do this because he knew this is what she was going to do, so he's making her like start up the Blackbird because that's what we were at the beginning.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking as I was reading this. So it gets close enough, and she nukes the fuck out of it with some engines.
Nukes the fuck out of them engines.
Like, really. And then, like, trashes the Blackbird.
Because basically she didn't open the hangar.
Yeah.
So the Blackbird's just, like, crashing into shit.
Yeah, it just goes, like, right into the fucking thing, and it breaks. And then she gets out, and she's like, oh, it's so hot, I'm just going to walk on this air.
Because she could do that, apparently.
Yeah, and then the alien comes to, like, claw her in the face.
Because it's still not dead.
And then all of a sudden we just cut to... We get her almost getting clawed in the face, and then we cut to... Professor S coming home.
It's still night.
Oh, it's still night.
So they left in the evening, and then apparently there was
coming home the same night
roadblocks and stuff because the alien killed people.
Oh, that's right.
So basically, the town was like, "Hey, it's happening around the mansion. Weird shit's happening, so nobody's leaving."
Yeah. So Professor X goes home with, who's this guy?
That's,
Is that Colossus? No.
Yeah, it's Colossus.
He looks small.
It's Peter. He does look small, actually.
That's why I was like, that can't be Colossus. He looks tiny.
Like, did he shrink? Did he, stop having juice?
Yeah. So they're like, oh, something's wrong. And Professor X is like, all right, Colossus, go look. Storm, you just stand by this car.
Yeah, he makes her stand by the car.
Storm's like,
protect the car.
One of the strongest X-Men out there. And you're like, just stand by that car. Sending Colossus instead. And then she's just sitting there. And mind you, the last time we saw her, she was about to get her face clawed off by an alien. But she's just sitting in an armchair, like, with her hair in a towel.
Yeah, she just took a shower.
And
for some reason she yawns, but it's like it's written in a different lettering.
It's like written yawn.
Yawn!
It's like, oh, hey, Peter, I'm so glad you're back. And then Professor X is like, hey, we left to go get your parents so you guys can have Hanukkah together.
Wait, so that was the whole thing along?
Yeah. You went to go get her parents.
But, wait.
That's why they left. They went to go get her parents so they could have Hanukkah.
But that was to be a surprise.
Yeah.
Oh.
She didn't know that. That's why I guess...
I didn't know. Was that mentioned before?
No. That's where you find out here.
But they made it so he was going to take her... I thought they were going on some sort of trip.
Well, I think that's what they told her, but I think what they actually did is just go get her parents and bring them back.
Oh.
That's what I assume happened, because all of a sudden her parents are there, and like he doesn't Professor X say something like,
Professor X is like,
how do you feel about this or whatever? Or no, her parents walk in, and she's like, oh my god, it's you guys.
It's like, Dad, you grew a beard. And then it's like, I'm so glad you could make it your trip. Both can make the trip. Your presence has done wonders for Kitty's morale. I'm like, what? They just got there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's probably happy, and she's like, oh...
But of course, like, everybody's having punch and stuff, and she's still... And this is when Storm finally walks up to her. Now, no one was home except for her, and now there's this punch, there's a punch bowl, so obviously people had to take the time to do these things.
To make punch, or maybe it was already in the freezer.
Oh, maybe.
Fridge, maybe they were like,
maybe
hey.
they were planning for it, but, like, then she finally, like, Storm is probably like, hey, so why are my plants dead? And she's like, so I kind of trashed the entire mansion.
Yeah, and no one
notices.
Here's the thing. I thought she, like... I mean, the mansion must be huge, because... Is there a part, like, of the mansion? Like, didn't they... I mean, I felt like they went through, like, the entire place.
She did.
So, like, the stairs and everything.
She even went to where the phone was, which was right by the front door. Remember? That's where she went back to that phone, and the thing came through the door. But apparently it was fine later? I don't know.
I guess not.
Whatever. Nobody seemed to notice all the damage that she did to the mansion somehow. Yeah. And apparently it's still structurally sound, and it's good enough that people could drink punch in it.
Horse shit.
Yeah. And so I guess what happened was, as the evil alien was clawing towards its feet, it was already dying, and it just like
crumbled to dust, and it's
right before it clawed her in the face.
And basically, it's like, this was a test of her abilities because she's Kitty Pryde, and
isn't it great?
Hoo ha, she passed.
Yay, Kitty Pryde.
Because Storm's like, what happened to my plants? And she's like, well, there's this alien. She's like, are you mad?
Yeah.
And she's like, what?
Yeah.
I guess I'm proud of you?
Storm's like, god damn it, all my plants are dead.
Like, I had all these plants, I was trying to do shit with my plants, and now they're dead. You know, there's this, Peter's over here drinking punch. Who knows where fucking Nightcrawler is?
Oh, I don't even know what happened to him.
Wolverine, where'd Wolverine go?
Wolverine went to go kill that woman.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He's going to go bury her in a ditch. With his terrible temper. She's gonna be like, you know what? I don't like coffee. I like tea. And he's gonna be like, tea! And then like slice her face off.
Slice.
Yeah, she's gonna like...
It's gonna be like that
she's
scene...
She's gonna have to go talk to the barista to like, ask for her order, and Wolverine's gonna get jealous and like stab everybody in the Starbucks.
Oh, have a happy Christmas. Slice.
Run, bitch!
Run, bitch!
Run, bitch, run! Yeah.
I hope they're at a restaurant. The waiter's like, would you like some dessert, ma'am? And she's like, no. And he's like, oh, that's okay, because you're sweet enough. And then Wolverine just slices the guy's face off.
And hers.
He goes, and hers.
Yeah.
He goes full OJ, but in the restaurant.
Yeah. And then he's like, how can I wear these gloves? I have these claws. And the jury just lets him off. It's fine.
If the gloves rip, you must acquit.
Yeah.
I hope that's the new FX thing.
Yeah.
About OJ. Yeah. Considering they show X-Men like all the fucking time.
Yeah.
They should just have...
It's the only thing they show.
They should just have him play OJ.
Yeah.
I would see that.
Sure, who wouldn't?
Anyway. Oh, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it for... Hang on, just wait.
I'm not saying anything.
That's it for X-Men number 1... On the Uncanny X-Men number 143 from March 1980. Would you read the next issue?
Nah. I mean, if somebody handed it to me, sure. I'm not going to look it out, though. Search out for it.
Yeah. It is the return of Cyclops, as it says.
Oh.
Then probably not. He shows up, he's like, yeah, I was on a ship. I'm on a boat.
He's not going to come back. He's going to go have sex with the blonde lady he was surprised had a vagina.
You're You're on a
Maybe
boat?
Jean Grey's not actually dead. Maybe she was just like, he didn't understand vaginas, and like, she's out.
Well, she's not dead. She's in a cocoon in the ocean. I think that's why he's on the boat, because he's going to, like, try to find her on a
cocoon in the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
She's trying to hide from him because she's like, he really didn't understand vaginas.
Yeah. That's basically what ends up happening, is she becomes, you know.
I needed to go somewhere where I could be by myself and enjoy my vagina. Because God knows he doesn't know what to do with it.
Oh.
Cyclops is just like, but I can't see without my glasses.
Cyclops gets...
Poor Cyclops. He really gets...
Well, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, he in the movies...
Oh, yeah.
He gets fucking shafted.
Yeah.
You know... Yeah. Was he in First Class? No. Did they allude to him in First Class?
I think they might have alluded to him, but
I know Havoc was his brother.
Havoc was, but I don't think he was.
Huh. I mean, I think they alluded to him, because I know, Wolverine was in there.
Yes, well, Wolverine is,
immortal.
Stop it!
Our cat.
Oh my God, Tully, don't break those. I don't want to have to replace another blind. Please, for the love of Christ, we are never getting our deposit back because of you. This cat. Oh, he wants to eat because it's 19 minutes past 5, and therefore he is starving and has never had food before.
Well, let's feed our cat. Let's feed our cat. And get done with the show here.
Okay.
I'd probably read the next issue anyways.
Yeah, if somebody, I would not search it out, but if someone gave it to me, I'd probably read it.
I'll give it a shot.
Sure.
Great. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you for listening, and have a great holiday.
Yeah.
Happy Christmas, and we will be back next week.
Yes.
We'll do one for New Year's. Maybe we'll figure something out for New Year's.
Yeah.
For New Year's Eve episode. I know there's a Superman issue of Superman. I don't know. Maybe I don't have it. I remember there being one, though, where him and Lois share some bubbly.
Okay. I don't think we have that one.
No, probably not.
Okay.
But that's it for this week's show. Thank you for listening.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Angry Hero Shawn, SHAWN. You can also find me on my Instagram with the same name. And my Tumblr, theangryhero.tumblr.com. And where can people find you?
I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram. JenStansfield.tumblr.com, JenStansfield.wordpress.com. And again, Merry Christmas, Happy Solstice, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Ramadan, whatever you celebrate. It's
all good. And
all good, man. Have a great holiday season.
And also, thank you to Sideshow Network for providing us with airspace. You can check them out on SideshowNetwork.tv. And they have a Twitter, of course, at Sideshow Network on Twitter. And please go to iTunes, rate and review.
Yay!
Rate and review. Tell us if you have any thoughts on Cyclops or
Do you also hate Cyclops?
Or flaming hobo skin. You got plenty to choose from this episode.
Oh, so, always.
Anyways, happy holidays, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!